Hey. Today is Friday, May 19th, 4:47. With me, Anthony Olensky. Good afternoon, Tony. I'm going to start with a quote as usual. There are a whole lot of things in this world of ours you haven't even started wondering about yet. It's from Roald Dahl. Hopefully I'll make you start wondering about some stuff. I got one, two, three things I want to talk about with you today. It's actually posts or threads from Twitter, Reddit, and LinkedIn. Actually, the first one, the Twitter one, is related to an article I found. Someone DM'd it to me this week. It's about a cool growth hacking strategy, so I'm just going to jump into that. It's title of the article, it's from BuzzFeed. Its title is Internal Facebook Note. Here is a psychological trick to target teens. Basically, Facebook bought TBH, this app, this consumer social app for teenagers that got millions of users, and they had this nifty strategy to get high schoolers to download the app. The author of the article gives a bunch of context. You can read it yourself if you really want to. I'll put the link in the show notes. But the most important part, or the thing that we're interested in, is the actual memo. The memo of like how to kind of hack your way through getting more teens onto your app. So first section is create a reproducible process of penetrating communities. Cool. There's not much substance in that section. But the second one, how we did it. This is what we're interested in. Our team, and I'm just going to read it out. Here's a quote. Our team obsessed with finding ways to get individual high schools to adopt the product simultaneously. We designed a novel method that was reproducible, albeit non-scalable. So he kind of goes into our first breakthrough was that we discovered that teen Instagram users would frequently list their high school in their bios. Example, sophomore at RHS. We would simply crawl the school's place page and then follow all the accounts that contain the school's name. However, we hit a roadblock. Users would view our follow requests at varying times of the day, so it derailed our efforts to get their attention simultaneously. Right. So we then eventually identified a psychological trick. All right, what's the trick? There are six points that are listed here. Number one, set the app's Instagram profile to private. Number two, set the bio to something mysterious. Example, you have been invited to the new RHS app. RHS is the school, right? Whatever, Roland High School. Stay tuned. Number three, follow the target users. 4, wait 24 hours to receive the inbound follow requests. So in brackets, they were curious about our profile, so they requested access, or like whatever, 80% did. They don't give a stat, but I assume like a lot of these kids actually did the kind of follow back thing on Instagram. 5 is at 4 p.m. when school gets out, the golden launch house. That's what he called it. Add the App Store URL to the profile. And so they get a notification. They look at on their phone, this like mysterious private account. Suddenly there's like an Apple Store URL, and then you make it public. So all the students get notified at the same time, and they see the link. They follow the link to the Apple Store, and they try the app. This is just one example of what TBH did. There are a lot of nuggets of wisdom from Nikita Beer. I hope I'm pronouncing his name right, but Nikita is the guy behind the TBH app, and then he joined Facebook, and then he launched the Gas app, an infamous Gas app, I guess, that was launched last year, and the story's crazy. You can listen more to this whole story of the app. I guess I remember listening something about it on the My First Million podcast. I'm going to put the link to the podcast in the show notes. And yeah, basically Nikita has this really cool thread that's pinned on his when you go into his Twitter account. After 10 years of building consumer social apps, I've decided to start exploring new ideas or new areas. Building these products is an unforgiving grind, but I learned a lot along the way. For those embarking on this path, here's everything you need to know. Time for a thread, and the thread is like there are a lot of it's a long thread, but very interesting and insightful. I guess my favorite one was something like basically, if your product requires a partnership, run. If there's people download apps to solve core human needs. 1, finding love. 2, making or saving money. And 3, play. People rarely take time out of their day for anything else. Or like if you can't use your app from the toilet or while distracted like driving, your users will have few opportunities to form a habit. There is a graveyard of live video apps that didn't make it because of the attention they require. But yeah, they're like, just go in. I'll put this in the link in the show notes. A really cool thread. I'm just gonna read out the last one. Great products take off by targeting a specific life inflection point when the urgency to solve a problem is most acute. 3 examples: Facebook. Starting a school, right? You start in a school, you go on Facebook, you want to get to know people, the groups, etc. LinkedIn, getting your first job. Slack, starting a company, right? You start a company, some internal communication tool, you get Slack. So that's on kind of a little bit of growth hacking. Cool story of like the TBH app and Nikita and his journey with consumer social apps and the unforgiving grind of growing them. The second thing I want to talk about, I found this on Reddit on the entrepreneur ride-along thread. There was a post that blew up. It was like from 2 days ago now, but in 2 days, or less than 2 days even, I guess, it got over 429 comments, and it was upvoted now a lot of times. There are 2 edits to this, but I'm going to read the first one because it made me really laugh, and I thought, yeah, it's a Friday, we can go through this. But it's about a co-founder, having a co-founder raising money. I'm just going to read it out to you and then comment, or maybe comment along the way. So here it goes. Okay, so I'm tired of VC meetings and acting professional, so let me vent, says the I guess it's a guy. Dear VC fucks, it's fucking simple. I don't want a co-founder. Yeah, this guy already sounds like a little bitch. The idea of finding someone random and letting them join my startup disgusts me. While I see a picture of 2 co-founders, or like this, I want to puke, like honestly. And I'm just gonna, whoever's watching this, I'm just gonna show you the photo. So this is what pure fucking performance looks like. I want to take 100% of the risk. When I make a mistake, I don't want to have someone else to blame. Side note: this is why if you play League and reach a challenger, by duoing, you're still a loser and it doesn't count. I'm so incredibly sick of speaking with VCs. Everything goes well and they drop me tell me more about your team. And I say, well, I'm a solo founder. The whole dynamic changes. Oh, why don't you have a co-founder? Let's continue this conversation once you have a co-founder. Motherfucker, do you think competent co-founders just grow on trees? Motherfucker, what makes you think I even want a co-founder? I'm putting in crazy hours each day, and there is no way in hell I find someone as fucked as me. Just look at my numbers. I'm a solo fucking soldier making moves. I don't need the extra baggage. Focus on my current numbers and don't imagine scenarios in your head. Oh, but what happens if you get sick? What happens during the hard days? Motherfucker, every day is a hard day, and yet here I am. I've been doing this shit for years. Rant aside, what would you do in my place? Is there a way for a solo warrior like myself to raise VC capital? I'm very close to onboarding a co-founder just for the sake of it, and making these VC fucks just shut the fuck up about the whole co-founder thing, thus making it easier to raise. Or I'll just bootstrap this shit to like 1 million ARR and try raising then. But it's gonna be fucking slow. If you have advice, feel free to chime in. Otherwise, thanks and for allowing me to rant. I hope you can after I read this, like you get why this blew up on Reddit. There are a bunch of things here, right? Like basically, if you're taking money from a VC because you want to grow faster, right? Growth mainly, I mean, like a big part of it is also just hiring a solid team to help you grow and getting the right people on board. It's market signaling. I got this incredible VC to invest in me. People see that and they're like, oh, I better join this startup. So this guy can't even find a co-founder or anyone to join it. Like not necessarily a co-founder. If he can, like if he has, I don't, he doesn't mention it. Maybe he has employees. Then like my comment might not be valid. But if this guy cannot even find a person to one person to join him, how does he expect to have a full team working with him / for him? And I guess that's the biggest question. There are a bunch of funny comments in this thread. I'm not going to go through them. Hope you enjoy this. I'm going to put the link to this Reddit thread in the show notes. And just as like speaking of VCs and co-founders, like I just found like a random just from yesterday or from like 776 Ventures, some VC, and like co-founder green flags. Selecting your co-founder is the most important decisions you could possibly make for your company. Interesting. Why not your investor, huh? But anyway, that's why we want to highlight 5 things you should look for when selecting your co-founder. They're not impressive, and like shared vision and values is number 1, or like complementary skills and expertise, trust and compatibility, commitment and work ethic, complementary personality. But yeah, they're pretty adamant about this. I guess the VCs like this is the most important decision. Like they wanna, I guess it's like a de-risking strategy, right? Like all VCs do, they look for for startups to invest in, and startups are supposed to be risky ventures. But in the end, like, do you want to find as many ways, or like you want to de-risk it as much as possible? And one of the ways to de-risk it is like, oh, if I have just one guy or gal going after an idea versus 2, I'm gonna bet on the 2 because they're just like something. There are more things at stake. Just like 2 people really want to make this work, rather than just one. But yeah, this rant would make me really laugh. And last one is a post on LinkedIn by Peep Laya, CEO at Winter, former founder. He founded a lot of, I think he also founded, he mentioned this, CLX, but he's like a marketing guru. He has a cool podcast. It's called How to Win. And this post is about sales and like 3 stories of sending physical items to prospects. And it's more of like a tongue-in-cheek kind of Friday stuff. That's why I chose it. First example is recently a salesperson shipped cookies to my office. Got my attention? Yes. I opened that package wondering who sent it. Gave me a chance to delight my kids. Definitely. Good karma. Did I get in touch? It was for a product that is completely irrelevant to me, so no. There you go. Don't waste money on sending shit to people just randomly without first like doing some proper targeting and homework, like who you're sending this to. Will they have a need for your product? Like that's pretty important, I guess. Number 2, a few years ago we did a similar campaign with CXL. We decided to send people a little cactus to sit on their desks. The sales team calculated that by buying cacti in bulk from a nursery is way cheaper than buying ready-made gift sets, and packaging them might be even a fun team-building exercise for a day. Hundreds of cacti got packed and shipped out. The card in the box said something like, "We'll contact you soon about XYZ." So they did, and learned of a disaster. When the prospects had opened the packages, dirt was flying everywhere. The cacti had been wrapped poorly. It was like sending glitter bombs, but dirt instead of glitter. yeah, dude, what the fuck? Uh, yeah, I guess that's why these marketing people shouldn't be gardeners. And then 3, a friend of mine. Why would you even like choose cacti in the first? Like, anyway, I guess cool idea, but yeah. Third is a friend of mine was shipped a package to his office. It was one of those cardboard computers, a full functional small screen device from a DIY computer kit. A note said, "Open me up." Upon opening, it autoplayed a video. My friend was positively surprised, expecting a personal video greeting. Instead, it was the most boring, generic sales video you can ever imagine. After the video ended, wasn't long, he still wasn't sure what the product is or what they wanted. Conclusion: everyone can send a cold email or call. It's easy to do, right? Sending physical items immediately raises the bar and helps you get attention. The odds of getting through are much higher. But sending the item itself is only the beginning. You need the right targeting, the right product and packaging, clear and compelling value proposition. But I think it also applies to like, cold email or call. Like you should also have the right targeting and also the product packaging, not, but like compelling value proposition. Doing your homework. So yeah, that's but I mainly read this out or in kind of spoke or like wanted to share with you this post because Peep is a cool guy. I don't know him personally, but you can find him on YouTube and on LinkedIn. He has a lot of good content. So yeah, that's it. Friday. I don't know what you're up to this weekend, but I guess I'm gonna stay. I'm gonna keep reading all this weird and I guess sometimes funny and ridiculous shit for you guys, and then I don't know. Send me a note. What do you think of this? Like, comment on the YouTube or just DM me on LinkedIn, because it'll be interesting to get your take. See ya.